Now later on we'll be looking at decimal numbers, but for now we're going to be looking at how to round to the nearest 10, 100 or 1000. So if we take a look at the first two examples on the board here, it's asking us to round 73 and then 245 to the nearest 10. So if we take a look at our number 73, now it's a number between 70 and 80. And essentially when they ask us to round to the nearest 10, they're asking us to tell them which one is it nearer to. Now 73 is obviously nearer to 70. So we would round that to 70, to the nearest 10. And we're just going to make a note there that we've rounded it to the nearest 10. Now when it comes to 245, slightly different, because now that's bang in between 240 and 250. And this is where the first most important rule we use comes in. And that is that if the number here on the end is 5 or more, we always round up. So in other words, we're going to say we would round that up to 250, to the nearest 10. Next up, we're going to round to the nearest 100. And there's two more numbers here for us to look at. 157 and 3,236. So with 157, it's between 100 and 200. And looking at the number, it's nearer to 200. So therefore, when we round it, it would be rounded to 200 to the nearest 100. The next number, 3,236, remember it's that hundreds part we're focusing on. So it's obviously between 3,200 and 3,300. And looking at the number again, 3,236 would be nearer to 3,200, to the nearest 100. So whenever it comes to rounding to the nearest 10 or 100, take a look at the number and decide, work out what number it's between and decide which one it's nearer to in the case of rounding it. Now we're going to take a look at how to round numbers to the nearest 1,000. It's exactly the same method, but with slightly different numbers. Here we go, 2,346 and 25,674. So when we look at 2,346, it's between 2,000 and 3,000. And by looking at the number again, we can see it's nearer to 2,000 than it is to 3,000. So we would round it to 2,000 to the nearest 1,000. Now, when it comes to 25,674, remember we're rounding to the nearest 1,000. So this would be between 25,000 and 26,000. And looking at the number here, it's nearer to 26,000. So it rounds to 26,000 to the nearest 1,000.